Hi there, my name is Andy Young and I'm one of the automotive lecturers down at Unitec in Auckland, New Zealand, and welcome to my Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Now, some of you that watch my channel on a regular basis will say, hey Andy, that's not your normal cap. Well, you'd be right, it's not. This is a cap from Shepster's Garage. That's www.shepsters.com, and it's a bit like an online forum or blog where you can go online and you can post basically motorcycle project rebuilds on there. You can post pictures of your own bike and how the project's going, and you can put videos on there and pictures, and you can talk about it. And it's something that I came across probably about 6 months ago, and I decided it'd be quite cool to do links to any of the motorcycle repair videos that I have on YouTube. And it went down a real success. Lots and lots of people watching the videos, commenting, finding them helpful, which is what it's all about. It's all about collaboration. And believe it or not, Shepsters sent me the cap at Christmas, and I was blown away actually. I wasn't expecting it at all. And well, there you go, the Shepsters cap. Check it out. If you're doing any motorcycle repairs, and I know quite a few of my viewers are bikers, then it may be something that you might want to check out, and maybe list a few of your own projects on there as well. It's interesting stuff, and a lot of the bikes are old bikes that are being restored, and you might have some information that will help somebody else, and vice versa. And I just find it interesting. It's cool when I have the time, which is not that often at the moment. Now, on this particular video, this is all about sort of up and coming news and what we've done over the last sort of 4 to 5 weeks since Christmas, since the new year, when I posted the last update video. Well, first of all, yes, I have shaved for you. It was getting a bit scruffy, wasn't it? So what have we covered over the last 4 weeks? And I've not been teaching, so I've been able to do quite a lot of videos. Well, starting from the most recent and working back, we did some kids quad bikes, a couple of kids quad bikes, little Suzuki LT50A and a Polaris. Both of them have been stored. Both of them had some common problems, i.e. the fuel had gone stale, but they also had their own unique problems as well. Some problems that weren't directly related to being stored, and other problems that were. And I worked my way through both those bikes, and man, they're going really well now. The customer was saying that they're running better than ever, which is great news. The kids are having a fantastic time riding them around the garden. I also did a video on how to diagnose a leaking carburetor, because there's a few issues that could cause the carb to overflow. So hopefully, again, that's going to be helpful. There was a pretty cool engine that came in from a Honda Jazz, 75,000 kilometers without an oil change or even an oil top-up, and obviously the inevitable happened and the engine finally died. And we did an autopsy, pulled it apart, really to see and investigate all the various components inside that engine that have been affected by lack of oil. And it was pretty cool. I enjoyed doing that, and so did quite a lot of my viewers actually, by the sounds of it. Before that, we had an issue with the MR2 where I did some ignition testing on the ignition system. We got the old oscilloscope out and we looked at the output from the distributor, from the 3 pickup coils, and we also covered how to test the igniter, which is something which Toyota don't recommend that you do, or they say it can't be done. We did it, and believe it or not, that car is back on the road, no problems at all. So I do suspect ultimately it was that loose plug on the igniter that was causing the problem. If it breaks down, I'll let you know. I did a fork rebuild on, what was it, WR250 upside down forks. That was, I haven't done those for a while actually, and it was quite good to do a refresher course on that. And of course, prior to that, we had the little Kawasaki Sherpa crank no start. Turned out that 2 of the buckets were seized in the head due to, again, poor lubrication. It's amazing how important that oil is inside an engine. Caused those buckets to distort, jam in the head, and of course the valves weren't fully closing. We got no compression, so I whipped the head off and relapped the valves because they were a bit burnt on the sealing surface. A couple of new buckets, put it all back together, adjusted the shims, worked out the valve clearance, changed the shims to the right size shims, and put it all back together. I am still waiting, believe it or not, for a spring for the camchain tensioner, so I can't fire the bike up. When I do, you'll be the first to find out. I'll do a video on it for you. What else? Well, my Nissan Patrol, my big old Patrol that came from the UK, had a problem with its alternator, wasn't charging, so I stripped it all down, diagnosed the fault as being just the brushes, it turned out, which is pretty cool. $5.75 fix, all back together again, did a bench test, and still working just fine. Excellent stuff. The other alternator that I had on the vehicle temporarily, which was intermittently charging, I did pull that apart as well, and I found that two of the diodes in the bridge rectifier, one had burnt out and one the solder had melted, which is a bit weird. So I'm going to need a new bridge rectifier for that, and then I can get that back together again, and I'll have a spare alternator. What else? Well, the most recent video that hasn't yet been uploaded, which is going to be uploaded hopefully tomorrow, is a repair on a Chinese-made petrol-driven sweeping machine. Yes, I know, it's not a car, it's not a motorcycle, but I suppose it's got an engine. And it also belonged to the customer that brought me down those two kids' quad bikes. So how can you turn away a job? And I found it interesting. It was really interesting to see how bad it was. But anyway, that's the way it goes. So all in all, I think since I've finished or started holiday from Unitech until today, I've uploaded about 38 videos, which is actually quite a lot for me. That's like one every other day. And some of those videos are pretty long, so there's been an awful lot of work involved. And I mean, don't forget, you know, all of them are genuine workshop jobs, which I also have to get done, get invoiced, and get back to the customer in a reasonable time. So it is quite hard. What have we got coming up? Well, I'm due back at Unitech in well, not a week's time anymore, on Monday, which is 3 days' time. I've got a weekend and I'm back at work. So things on the channel probably are going to slow down a little bit. Sorry to say it, but that's just reality, unfortunately. It's always pretty intense getting a new semester up and running at Unitech, with the students getting all the printing done and making sure all the timetables are working properly and everything sort of, you know, interacts as it should do. But we have got an issue, I hate to say this, an issue with Ben's TDR 250. If you remember, I did a few videos on a top-end rebuild, and we used a copper head gasket. We had to get a head gasket made because we'd gone oversize on the piston diameter. We'd gone beyond what Yamaha recommend, and nobody produced a head gasket. So we actually had one water-injected cut, I think it was, and it was a 0.9mm thick gasket, and we used that copper gasket spray to seal it. Well, the bike goes fantastically well. The problem is it spits out about 100 millilitres of coolant whenever Ben gets to wherever he wants to be. It's lost coolant. Now, sure, we changed the radiator cap. It looked a bit manky, didn't seem to be in very good condition, so we just chucked a new genuine Yamaha one of those on there. Hasn't fixed the problem. It's not burning coolant. There's no steam from the exhausts. But I do suspect it could be a head gasket issue. I really hope it isn't. I can't think what else it could be, to be honest. So I need to do some more investigation work. I need to do a coolant system pressure test and see if we can get coolant to leak into one of the cylinders. If it is, we're going to have to rethink that gasket again. Hey, it's an adventure. What else have we got? Well, I've been delivered an old XT500, a classic Yamaha motorcycle, trail bike, or enduro bike, call it what you like. And it came from South Africa, and it's arrived here in New Zealand. It's been here for quite some time. I have worked on it in the past. I got it up and running a couple of years ago with the intention of the customer putting it back on the road. It then got parts in his garage. It now doesn't run again, so I've got to get that fired up. But the main problem with the bike is the fuel tank, which is pretty common on these old bikes, had rusted through, and it was leaking fuel, and that really put a halt to the whole project. So I went out, well, I got Ian down at Cycle Treads to order me some of this, and this is cream fuel tank liner kit, and it's like a 3-stage application kit, which obviously I'll be doing a video on, and that's going to happen today actually, so you should see that video in the next few days going on YouTube. And that essentially lines the inside of the fuel tank. Now, I think really it's designed primarily as a preventative to prevent corrosion building up in your fuel tank and therefore preventing leaks. Unfortunately, this fuel tank on the old XT500 is way beyond that. It's got a pretty nasty leak, I think somewhere near the front, one of the front mounts where it clamps onto the frame. So it really is a bit hit and miss. Is it going to work? I don't know. I've actually never used this stuff before, so it's a first for me. So we'll follow the instructions and you know, see what happens. And also this semester back at Unitec, sorry, jumping around a bit at the moment, back at Unitec I'm going to be teaching what we call semester 2 content, even though it's semester 1, which is steering and suspension and braking systems. Now I've done a shed load of videos on that kind of stuff, a lot more on the braking systems as opposed to steering and suspension. So one video I'd like to do if I get a chance, I've got a couple of old rear shock absorbers that came off Ben's Ute. I want to dissect one of those and actually show you what's inside and how they work and the problems that you can experience with shock absorbers. We might even bring in as well at the same time a front strut with obviously the spring off and everything, and I'll grab one from work, the old school type that can be taken apart, and we can pull that out and we can compare the internals of a front strut compared to a standalone rear shock absorber, and they should be pretty similar. Okay, well that really covers everything in the past and you know over the last sort of 4 weeks, and the things that I know about that are coming up over the next few weeks. There's obviously going to be other workshop jobs coming in. I know for sure there's a really big boat trailer coming down from Puhoi in the next couple of months that needs a shed load of chassis replacement work doing, and maybe there'll be a video on that. It's going to be a big job, and it should be quite interesting because there's going to be a fair bit of fabrication going on there. Okay, so probably a couple more things still to go on this. Sorry if it's taking too long, but got a mail call actually from Steve Robb. In fact, I got 2 from Steve. I haven't been to my PO box for bloody ages, to be honest. And Steve sent me this one, and he sent me a second one which had some jerky in it, which I have eaten. It looked a bit dubious. Maybe it had been in the PO box for a little bit too long. It was incredibly spicy. Man, it was good stuff. Took me ages to get rid of the taste. Thanks, Steve. So yeah, Steve has sent me through. What's he say in the letter? Hi, Andy. I quite enjoy the Andy Mechanic channel. Thanks, Steve. I've sent along some extra stickers from some of my friends. I hope you have a place for all these stickers. Haha, you're going to be quite popular on YouTube and getting more channel stickers over time. All the best, buddy. Cheers, Steve Robb. Well, that's awesome. Thank you very much, Steve. And I really wasn't expecting this at all, but I got to find some space because the old Teng box, it's got the eyes logo on there. There's not a lot of space for stickers, but I'll come up with some kind of plan. So we've got there the Plough Guys. Hi, Plough Guys. I do watch your videos now and again. The Disgruntled Mechanic. Well, that almost feels like me every now and again. I do get pretty disgruntled. And of course, the infamous Steve Robb. And Scanner Danner. Now, I must admit, I've not really watched too many Scanner Danners, but I did watch one on the on that probe that he checked out and wasn't too happy about. And SMA, South Main Auto Repair. So hello from New Zealand, South Main Auto Repair. Good job. And what else? Well, there was another sticker arrived in the post, completely unrelated. And it was from, I'll read the letter first of all. It was from Rob, another Rob, from One Auto. And it says, hi Andy, I'm a YouTube subscriber of yours and enjoy your videos. Please find enclosed some of my YouTube channel stickers for your toolbox. Keep up the good. Well, I'll do my very best. And he's from, this Rob is from Daventry in Northamptonshire in the United Kingdom. So thank you very much, Rob. I do appreciate that. And there you go. That's One Auto's stickers. So you can check those guys out on YouTube as well. One thing that's come from all of this, and I think I've mentioned this before, is there is really a little community starting to develop amongst us automotive engineers, mechanics, car repair guys, call us what you like. And you know, in the real world, you get one garage next to another garage next to another garage. You're all in competition, you know. You're all fighting for customers. And I suppose you could consider YouTube like that. You know, the audience only has so much time available, and they're either going to watch your channel or they watch somebody else's. They've got a choice, and it is a complete freedom of choice. But you know, we all sort of, I get the impression anyway, and I know I'm a newbie to all this. I've only had a channel going for about a year now, but I don't think that competition really exists. We all just do what we do, and if our viewers like it, fantastic. If they don't, hey, there's something out there that they will like, and every channel has its own little characteristics, its own attributes. I don't try to be like anybody else, and I would hope that nobody else tries to be like me. We just do what we do, and let's face it, you know, we don't really do this for the money. It's done for the love of it and helping to, you know, spread the knowledge a little bit, give you something to watch other than primetime TV. Okay, what else? There was something else. Oh, statistics. I'm not going to bore you with loads of graphs, just going to go do a very quick overview. But the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel is very, very close to hitting 1 million minutes viewed. Now, okay, so to some channels that's insignificant amount, but for me, for somebody, well, obviously a few people, to sit down and watch my videos for 1 million minutes. I haven't worked out how many years of a lifetime that is, but that's actually quite a long time in my book. So, you know, there's that. And subscribers, that's climbing pretty quick now. We're up to just over 1,300 subscribers. And we clipped, I think we just clipped 1,000 subs. I think it was the day after New Year's Eve, so probably New Year's Day or the day after I hit 1,000 subscribers. So in the last sort of 4-5 weeks, another 300 subscribers have come on board. This is amazing, and you know, it gives me the motivation and the drive to keep doing these videos. And I have a plan. You know, I want to get 1,000 videos up on the channel, and I'd like the channel really to be able to develop a minimal income, which is just enough to allow me to ride around the world on a motorcycle. That's what I'd like to do. That's my mission. I've done all the other stuff. I ran a huge, well, in fact, the biggest off-road driving centre in England, Langdale Quest, Moorland Adventure Sport. That was my business, and I did that for 13 years, and I had a fantastic time doing it. And I'd learned, you know, I came up with lots of different ways of alternatively repairing quad bikes and jeeps and things, and made many, many, many people, especially children, very happy going out around the forest in a four-wheel drive or going out with the parents with a quad bike. We used to do 2-seater quad bike trips across the moors as well, and you know, that was fantastic. I came to New Zealand, ultimately ended up being a teacher at Unitec, and then started my Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. And this really, this is me again. You know, being a lecturer, that's just a job. Here I can be exactly what I want to be, and there's no rules, you know. It's just completely open freedom of what you want to do. And anybody that's, you know, wants to do a YouTube channel, go for it. Just do it. What the hell? You've got nothing to lose. But no, ultimately, if I can get the channel to earn just enough to pay on a daily basis for me to put a bit of fuel in the fuel tank and drive another couple of 100 kilometres around the world on a motorbike and pay for a tin of beans somewhere, then that would be fantastic. Who knows? A pipe dream, maybe. Well, I'd just like to say thank you to my main sponsor, which is Teng Tools. As some of you may have noticed, there's some really cool racking now in the workshop, which has given us a lot more space. It's, you know, I was promised it back, I think back in July, August time, but this racking had done the rounds. It had been to a lot of trade shows to promote the fact that this is a new product line that Teng do, and eventually it came my way. I was able to go and pick it up from their warehouse, their head office down in East Tamaki, and man, the level of support that Teng give this YouTube channel is, in my opinion, unprecedented. You know, really, really grateful for their input. Thank you very much, Brandon and the team down at Teng. We actually have a new building going up at Unitec at Mount Albert, and I'm hoping that we can do some kind of collaboration with Teng on the refit or the fitting out of that building for the automotive side, and try and get some more Teng products in there. Teng do support the educational industry tremendously well. They've donated quite a number of tools over the last couple of years towards our department, and really, really grateful. They are good guys down there. So if you're thinking of buying a new toolkit or just a spanner, whatever it is that you need, socket set, then do consider Teng. They are, I found them pretty good. And you're not paying for the name like you do with some tools, you know. Okay, there's a little plug over and done with. Thanks for listening to it. Okay, well, that brings me pretty much to the end of this news update video. My name is Andy Young. I'm one of the automotive lecturers down at Unitec in Auckland, and you've been watching my Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Now, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, why not click on the subscribe button? You'll see a little gear icon turn up. Click on that if you like, and then you can turn on notifications by ticking the box. And then our friends down at YouTube will send you an email, hopefully, every time I upload a new video. And then you can watch it. And if you don't want to watch it, it doesn't matter. But at least you know it exists and you've been notified. You'll also be able to communicate to me through Facebook, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter. That was a different order, wasn't it, normally? Okay, so Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and Twitter. But I would ask, first point of contact, chuck it in the comments on YouTube, because that's where the videos are. And if I answer your question on there, then that may be the same answer that somebody else needs for their particular problem they've got on the car or the motorbike, and then they don't have to look elsewhere. If it migrates off to a different internet platform, you know, Facebook or whatever, then it sort of gets a bit lost, does the information. It's a lot harder to find if they are going to find it. Okay, well, we're about 13 months in. Thanks for joining me on this huge adventure, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, over and out.